there's just like this confused, lie-infested rat hole. And out of that comes the Democrats, comes the mainstream media and everything else. And then, of course, comes the cultural part of this. It leaks into what gets on television, who your comedians are, et cetera, et cetera. And what they have to do always is not just lie about everything and tell you they're protecting life while they're killing life, but they also have to scare the hell out of you. They have to make sure that you know that you're a racist and a bigot and an evil person, and that they're literally going to come to the restaurants where you eat.
I can't describe how painful it is to be here now in a place where the Supreme Court has the power to erase 50 years of constitutional law. Make no mistake, this is not where it ends. Conservatives will not rest until they have come for all of our rights. Everything we have fought for could be lost unless we take it back. It's not just about voting in November. It's about doing everything in our power to protect and help vulnerable people access abortion across state lines. And we have to raise hell in our cities, in Washington, in every restaurant Justice Alito eats at for the rest of his life. Because if Republicans have made our lives hell, it's time to return the favor.
So that is Samantha Bee. She was formerly of The Daily Show. I think she has a show on TBS or Comedy Central or something. I'm not sure where she's doing that show from. Nobody is watching any of these shows. That's just how it is. Oh, I guess her show now moved to HBO Max or something. I mean, that's one of the things that happens with these people. If you just give the system what it wants, if you're sort of like a Brian Stelter type, you just repeat all the talking points of the system will just keep rewarding you. Even if nobody's watching any of your shows, it'll just keep giving you more and more money, and then your shows will be canceled. Speaking of The Daily Show, Jon Stewart, what happened? He leaves The Daily Show, and then he gets this, I think, Apple TV show, right, where they paid him probably $10 million a year. He goes full woke, and then they get rid of him. It's like you're a useful tool to the system. You're bantha fodder. How about that? I haven't done a Star Wars reference in a while. That's what you are, you freaks. Anyway, what she's saying there, and I don't know that anyone's watching her show. She also has probably 20 writers on that show. I got these three fools in here. No offense, guys, but you know what I'm saying. That was a little offensive. Great people, but you know what I mean. You know, you're not Hollywood trained writers. That's all I'm saying. Thank God. I'd fire you if you were. Anyway, what she's saying there is that you should follow Samuel Alito to where he eats. That here is a man who did his job. First off, she's also saying that they've erased 50 years of law. And it's like, no, they made a decision in 1973 that the justices now decided was not constitutional. So the justice, this was the problem with Roe v. Wade in the first place. In 1973, when the justices looked at it, they said, oh, there is a constitutional right to an abortion, except it's not in the Constitution. Again, there are things that are actually in the Constitution. There are things that are in the Bill of Rights that are actually codified. That's a new word everyone's using right now. Codified into law. If they were making decisions that were in conflict with written law, then we'd have a real problem on our hands. But they looked at it, they said, wait a minute, abortion, the right to an abortion is not in the Constitution. Thus, we must give it back to the states because things that are not in the Constitution should be given back to the states. That's what federalism is. That's the basic point of the whole freaking system. That's how it is supposed to work. So the system is working right now, but they don't want the system to work because they want to own you. They want one, as I keep saying, they want one ring to control them all. They want one power to control everybody. So someone like Samantha Bee, not only is she lying, she either is lying, I don't believe she doesn't know what she's talking about. So she's blatantly lying. She's obviously not funny. I don't know who's watching any of that stuff. But she's also ramping up, and this is what they want, and they've been doing it for a long time. Ramping up that you should get in their faces. Remember Maxine Waters? Don't let them have any peace. AOC, this is what Ilhan Omar does. This is what Democrats do all the time. They're allowed to overtake federal buildings. Go see what's going on in Wisconsin. They're allowed to burn down cities, go to any blue state. They're allowed to do all of these things. But when they do it, it's somehow thought of as nice, and it's nice and pleasant destruction. When they destroy the nail salon by the Korean immigrant, they're doing it in the name of Black Lives Matter. They're better than you. That's what they are.